Today's show, we're reacting to ESPN's latest 2-round mock draft for the Cleveland Browns. That means 3 picks. Do not miss out on today's show, folks. It is mock draft season, one of the most fun times of the year right now for Browns fans. So let's get ready to get into this, but we need some good luck. Guys, I don't want the Browns to draft any busts this year. I like the class from 2025. If you want to crush it in the draft again, like this video right now. Tap the like button. I'd be going down there and smashing it. I really think the Browns can rebuild faster than people think if we smash this draft and fix the offensive line. So I don't want to take any chances. Don't jinx it. Hit the like button if you want to crush it in the draft again. And I really like what this one could be from ESPN. So without further ado, we'll start with how Matt Miller mocked the first few picks of the draft, okay? The Raiders take Fernando Mendoza. I think everybody sees that coming. The Jets land Ohio State beast Arvell Reese. Then Francis Mauigoa goes to the Cardinals at number 3. I really like Mauigoa a lot, but a lot of mock drafts have him going to the Cardinals at 3. So what does that mean? Ruben Bain follows at 4. Carnell Tate, another Ohio State beast that a lot of Browns fans might want, goes at 5 to the Giants. And then Cleveland gets Spencer Fano with the 6th overall pick. Caleb Downs, Ohio State guy again. Look at this. We're crushing the top 10. And Jeremiah Love follow. But Fano is the pick for the Cleveland Browns at number 6. I love taking offensive line first. I think that is your biggest need. That is your biggest priority. Yes, I'm all in on that concept. And Fano, the more I read about him, the more I'm really buying in. Here's what Matt Miller had to say about Spencer Fano. The rebuild is ongoing in Cleveland as the Browns have holes throughout the roster with no clear-cut answer at quarterback or left tackle. That leads to yet another best player available approach. Fano has experience at both left and right tackle as a 3-year starter who allowed only 3 sacks in his past 24 starts. He could be the replacement for free agent Jack Conklin at right tackle, but he offers the flexibility to start on the left side if DeJuan Jones doesn't return to form after suffering a torn hamstring, torn lateral collateral ligament this season. Well, I disagree with the analysis, first of all, Matt Miller. Disrespectful. Okay, we're not rebuilding and have a bunch of holes in the roster. We could actually rebuild quicker than the analysts realized. Okay, our defense was top 5. If we just had any sort of movement on offense, I think we'd be contending, at least competing in our division. So let me just say that. And this is not a best player available pick. This is a position of need pick. Tackle is by far our biggest need. I like the pick. Didn't like how he phrased it. But it's by far our biggest need. And you can't just not address it in the first round with your 2 first-round picks. It could be a real game changer for Cleveland if we had any sort of protection up front. And DeJuan Jones, quite frankly, when healthy, not the best guy, pretty slow, not good footwork. Fano, on the other hand, take a look at some of his PFF grades from last season. I mean, overall, nearly 85. And he's versatile. He can do both pass blocking and run blocking, which is exactly what we need on the outside. 0 sacks allowed, folks. 0 sacks allowed in 2025. No hits allowed either. That's what our quarterback needs. I'm not kidding you. I think Fano, the more I read about him, the more I like, and I am sold on getting an offensive lineman at 6. If Mauigoa's there, I'm a big fan of Mauigoa because I think he's got the, lowest floor. Like, he's probably going to succeed and be an impact player in the NFL. But Fano is the next best guy, too. Some mock drafts actually have Fano going at 3 and Mauigoa going at 6. Point is, I'm sold on getting an offensive lineman because nothing else works on this offense if you don't have protection. You can get a stud wide receiver, but if there's no time for him to run a route, it's not going to work. Get offensive linemen right away. There's 2 good tackles, and they're going to go top 10, so I like getting one of them. What say you? Are you in on the Browns drafting Spencer Fano? Give me a Y for yes. Give me an N for no. I get it. Some people are going to say they really want Carnell Tate. They really want Jordan Tyson. I hear you. I'm not opposed to it. But personally, I think nothing works if your offensive line's not there in today's NFL. So you tell me, are you in on drafting Fano? Y for yes, N for no. Get those opinions in the comment section. Continue on with Miller's mock. David Bailey falls to number 9. And then Minster Delane. We could use a corner as well, let me just say. But he goes at 10. Jermod McCoy, another one of the best corners in this draft, goes at 11. Ohio State's Sonny Siles lands in Dallas. Colton Hood, makes his way to the Rams. Then Jordan Tyson falls all the way to 14. We would not like this if the Ravens land big Jordan Tyson at 14, but it is possible. Bucks get a corner, and Mekhi Lemon goes at 16. You see there's some top wide receivers that aren't making it to the 20s, folks. So what is Cleveland going to do? Keldrick Falk goes to Detroit. McNeil Warren to Minnesota. Offensive guard out of Penn State that I was looking at for Cleveland as well gets taken here. Aliva Vega Yowane at 19. And then TJ Parker gets to Dallas via Green Bay. So what does Cleveland end up doing? We will answer that question in just a moment, but let's give a special shout out to today's sponsor, and that is our friends over at Prize Picks. The big game is almost here, and there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. Since the big game is right around the corner, it also means it's your last chance to get into the football action before next season. So close the season out right with Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. I love this app. It's a lot of fun. I've been crushing it in the playoffs with the more on quarterback passing touchdowns. Since I can't watch my favorite team for a while, I need a way to stay entertained during these games and have something to root for. Prize Picks helps me do that, makes all the games more entertaining. Are you missing your fantasy team? My league's already over, but with Prize Picks, I don't have to wait until next year's draft to keep playing fantasy. Prize Picks lets you play fantasy football every week, even in the playoffs. Pick your favorite players and win when they hit their projections every week. No draft required. Join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 sports picks app. My lineup coming up for the big game: Drake May, more than half a passing touchdown, and max discount, more than half a passing yard is all May needs. Then JSN, more than half a touchdown, and Stevenson, less on 52.5 rushing yards. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. Continuing on with the mock draft, Pittsburgh gets Avion Terrell, and then the Chargers take Caleb Banks, and finally Kenyon Sadiq, tight end, off the board, goes to Philadelphia. And we know the Browns have the 24th overall pick. Who does Matt Miller having us take? Cleveland Browns select Denzel Boston, the Washington wide receiver, with pick 24 in round 1. He falls to us, and this is a home run if you're a Browns fan. I love the pick myself. Here's what Matt Miller had to say about Denzel Boston. This could be the spot where the Browns consider a quarterback, such as Ty Simpson or Trinidad Chambliss, if his NCAA appeal is denied again. But the word we have heard most often is in Mobile is that the Browns will not force a quarterback pick in 2026. Okay, and Boston is a massive wide receiver prospect, 6'4", 210 pounds. Excellent ability to win at the catch point. If the Browns decide to roll with Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders at quarterback, they'd be comforted by the fact that Boston's size and great play speed, plus his 20 touchdowns the past 2 seasons, help him on the outside of the formation. He projects as a true wide receiver 1. That's what I like most about it. Makes any quarterback feel comfortable. Here's the scouting report I got for you on Denzel Boston. Size and physicality. He plays big and not just being 6'4". Catch radius. This is what makes it every quarterback feel comfortable. He'll go low, he'll go high, put it in the vicinity. He'll make your quarterback look good, and that would help Shedeur Sanders a lot. Specifically, it's a dream target that you can get late in the first round. Finds openings in coverage. Decent route runner. That is also something we're going to need most, is someone who can make it easy. Just throw it to me, and Boston will do the rest. Sticky hands, it's like Velcro. It's going to come down with this thing. That's what I like about him, the catch radius specifically. I am all in if Denzel Boston falls to us at 24. We got to worry that someone like the Steelers ahead of us might take wide receiver. Do you then consider trading up? I don't think it's that drastic, but if he comes to 24, I am all in on Denzel Boston. We need a true wide receiver 1 right away. To me, seems like he could be that, and he's the top 4 wide receiver according to Mel Kiper in this draft. Lemon's not going to make it there. Boston, to me, would be the guy. So be the GM. Do you want the Browns to draft Denzel Boston? Type D for draft, type P for pass. Let me know in the comment section what you would do with that 24th overall pick in the first round. But I do really like the concept. I really like the idea of you get offensive line, then wide receiver. I think that is absolutely perfect if you're the Cleveland Browns. Okay, round 2. 2-round mock, ladies and gentlemen. So pick 39, what is Cleveland going to do? Matt Miller says the Browns take the linebacker out of Cincinnati, Jake Goldday. Now, some of you probably look at this and you think, why would they go defense? I agree. I do like taking another offensive lineman, but this draft specifically is loaded on defense, and you're kind of going to have to take a couple. So here's what Matt Miller has to say about Goldday. The Browns hit a home run with the second-round middle linebacker Carson Schlesinger in the 2025 draft. Could pair him with a top strong side linebacker in Goldday, who had 104 tackles, 3.5 sacks last season. I'll tell you what, this draft, it is a gold mine for defensive ends, linebackers, safeties, defense as a whole. That is what this draft class specializes in, which is a little unfortunate. I wish it was the O-line draft class of the century, but it is the defensive class. Guys like Arvell Reese, Caleb Downs, there's generational defensive talent in this draft on defense. So I expect the Browns to take at least the one linebacker, especially if they do promote Tarver or Bonda, right, at the defensive coordinator. Someone like Thieneman, by the way, the Oregon safety, stud. He might fall to us in that second round. I would also strongly look at Jacob Rodriguez later in the second round. Maybe you get lucky. He's an early third-round pick. But Jacob Rodriguez has phenomenal instincts. I'm very curious to see how he tests because, dude, his instincts are unreal. So there's a lot of linebacker talent. I think Cleveland should take one too. But so much defensive talent in this draft. You can't, Cleveland likes to draft defense and best player available on that side of the ball. So especially if Schwartz stays or they promote from within, they're going to take a couple guys that could be studs like Carson Schlesinger right away. So I don't mind the pick, but I would also consider getting another offensive lineman or receiver early in the second round too. You tell me. Comment your sleeper draft target for 2026. Give me a name that's a little under the radar that you really like. Show me you know ball. Comment a sleeper in the comment section for 2026. While you're down there, follow Joey O. That's me, yours truly, on X/Twitter, JoeyO70, Instagram, Browns Report IG, and TikTok, Joey O Brown. We post a lot of fun content, highlight, memes, all of it. So give me a follow, and I'll interact with you guys every day on social media if you'd like. Appreciate you all tuning in. Let's crush it this year in the draft. I'll see you guys next time.